We have been assigned the ninth circle of hell, the circle of treachery, which holds its position at the bottommost depths of the inferno, signifying the lowest point of hell, containing the scum of the earth. People obtain a spot here by committing acts of treachery and treason against other people, their countries, or their kings. The punishment that is the most prevalent in this circle is being frozen, which fits the crime because the frozen people can no longer do much nor commit any crimes. More specifically, the people who have betrayed their kings are frozen up to their necks, so they can bow with their heads and so on. Dante places various people charged with murder and treason in this level, and to the severity of the namesake of each ring that they can be found in. For example, the first ring is named Cana, after Cain, who murdered his brother Abel, and thus murderers and other similar acts of treason cause a person to be placed here. Also, Dante has placed Satan or Lucifer in this level, in the fourth and final ring, because Satan is the operator of hell and is set to punish the three worst people ever, Brutus, Cassius, and Judas. Brutus and Cassius are found here because of the wretched treason they committed against Julius Caesar, who trusted the both of them in the height of the Roman Empire. Judas is found here because he betrayed Jesus himself and violated principles of religion in doing so. The best solutions can be found in the names for each ring of the ninth circle. The first ring, Cana, alludes to Cain and Abel, as Cain murdered Abel and committed the first murder on earth. The second ring, Antenora, alludes to Antenor of Troy, who committed treason by betraying Troy to the Greeks. The third ring, Ptolemaea, alludes to Ptolemy, captain of Jericho, who tricked his father-in-law, a priest, and Simon's sons with a feast and murdered them. Ptolemaea also alludes to Cleopatra's brother, who set up the murder of Pompey, a Roman general. The fourth circle, Judaica, alludes to Judas Iscariot, who was the one who betrayed Jesus himself, considered the worst act of treason ever committed. Progressively throughout the circle, Dante obtains an increasingly and purely violent attitude to the traitors and sinners found in each preceding cantos. This can be seen by violent kicking, pulling of hair, and being frozen higher and higher up on the body. This violent attitude climaxes at the end, with Dante's use of Satan at the very end as punishment for Judas, Brutus, and Cassius. In Cantos 31, Dante reaches two giants, and one of them, Antaeus, picks him up, and Virgil, and leads them into the ninth circle. In Cantos 32, the treacherous to kin and country, Dante enters Cana and finds twins frozen up to their heads fighting, and Bacca degli Abati, an Italian traitor. He then proceeds into Antenora, further into the frozen lake, and sees on head and eating another. In Cantos 33, he learns the identity of the Nar, Count Ugolino, and who he was eating, Archbishop Ruggieri, both traitors. Dante then enters the third ring, Ptolemaea, to find traitors to their guests, frozen on their backs. He then makes his way to the fourth and final ring. In Cantos 34, the treacherous to their masters, Dante reaches the bottom to find the scum of the worth. Betrayers and finds Judas in Satan's mouth, along with Brutus and Cassius, the three worst sinners in history, all who committed treachery and treason. Dante then climbs Satan's fur and leaves hell. These cantos are filled with rhetorical devices to describe the dark scenes. The twins butting their heads together is described with the simile, so tightly, and then they, like two goats, butted their heads together. And to describe the people frozen up to the necks with only their heads sticking out, Dante uses the metaphor, and as a frog, in order to croak, places himself with his muzzle out of water near harvest time. In addition to describe the gnawing of Archbishop Ruggieri by Count Ugolino, Dante uses the imagery, and even as bread through hunger is devoured. The uppermost on the other set his teeth, there where the brain is to the nape united. Finally, a perfect example of a parallel in present-day society to the ninth circle filled with those guilty of treason is Edward Snowden, the man who infamously committed treason against the U.S. and by exposing NSA operations. His treason can be compared to the many acts of treason committed by the people in the circle like Bocca degli Abati and the Italian traitor.